Hello everyone, welcome to my Mumlife chat. I thought I'd just pop on today. I'm currently sat in ASDA car park. I'm just about to nip inside because I need cookery ingredients because it's chipolato risotto tomorrow. So looking forward to seeing how that one turns out. So there's a few things that I needed. So yeah, I told Shane I'm only nipping to Home Bargains and ASDA, and I've been gone ages, but that might be because I've bumped into my sister in Home Bargains car park, so I've been stood chatting to her for a while. Now I'm in ASDA, so I thought I'll pop on here, say hi to you guys, see how you all are. Anyway, my rant today, school admin. The kids have only been back at school for 2 days, and you're bombarded with emails, text messages. It's just crazy. So these actually started on Sunday because our kids use a online app called Sparks Maths. So on Sunday I always get an update, oh, your child has completed their Sparks Maths, or oh, your child hasn't completed their Sparks Maths by Wednesday. Please encourage them to do so. It's flipping Sunday morning. Give them a break, it's the weekend. Anyway, so that started on Sunday. I was bombarded with emails yesterday, and same again today. And today, what really miffs me off sometimes is today I'm getting text messages for parent messages for children that I don't even have in this specific year group. And it's like, if you're going to start emailing parents, at least keep it relevant. At least email or message through the parenting apps that they use information that's relevant to your child's school year. So we've got 4 kids at school at the moment, so that's a lot of school years to deal with, and a lot of emails and messages and oh, please remember, and oh, book you before and after school club. Well, they don't go to that. And then it's like today, oh, please pay for your trip for year 3. I haven't got a kid in year 3, so I'm not even interested. So you'd think there'd be some way that schools could filter the messages so they're only relevant for them parents. Because otherwise, like today, I'm bombarded, and half of the messages aren't even relevant to my kids. So it's a bit pointless, really. Anyway, the best messages I had was, I think, September time, saying, your child has been selected for a trip to Berlin at Christmas, and it's £600 and something. And it's like, so who's selected him for that? And I think it was for English, and he's not even doing English. So it's like, so who's selected him for a trip to Berlin at Christmas? Because I haven't. And when I asked him, he didn't even know anything about it. So it's like, so he hasn't selected himself for a trip to Berlin. Anyway, then about 3 weeks later, I got another email saying, oh, due to the lack of update, your child's trip has now been cancelled. And it's like, well, he wasn't even going anyway. So I don't even know who he was selected by or why, because he's not even doing English. So yeah, that was probably the best one so far this year. But yeah, it's just constant. And then as Christmas comes, there'll be even more, because there'll be all the Christmas activities and plays and concerts and carol concerts. And yeah, you could almost create a full-time job out of dealing with school admin. And I bet 90% of it is unnecessary and not even aimed at us or our children. So yeah, so that's my mum vlog rant. How many of you are bogged down with school admin and dealing with schools, and then it's like they have so many different learning apps that they have to do homework on. And then it's like an email from the teacher for this, and the homework's on Educate or Seneca or something else. And it's like, why? Where have the days gone where they did like a maths lesson, say, and then they were given a sheet, and on that sheet it would have 10 or 15 questions that were relevant to the maths lesson that they'd just done, to check their knowledge, so the teacher had an idea of whether they'd picked it up or not picked it up. You know, all kids learn at different rates, and that's fine. Some kids can look at it and get it straight away. Some kids need to practice it 2 or 3 times. Every child is different, and every child's learning is different, and the speed and the way they learn is totally different, and that's fine, and they should all be individual. But where have they gone? When our kids used to bring them sheets of paper home, they used to come home, oh, I've been doing this in class today. It'd be algebra or fractions or stuff like that, and then they'd do the sheet, they'd sit there at the table, they'd fill it all in. Oh, I know how to do that one, I know how to do that. And then they'd hand it back in, and if there was any questions they didn't know, they just wouldn't bother doing it, or they'd say, I can't do that one, and leave it. But then at least it gave the teacher an idea of if their child was grasping what they were doing in the lesson, and not just for maths, they used to do it for science and everything else, you know, languages and everything, but now everything's online. So then that just generates me a load more admin. Oh, log on to Quizlet for this, and oh, do this, and sign up to Zoom for parents' evening, or you can come in person. World's gone mad, hasn't it? I'm very much a pen and paper girl. I like to write things down, lists and everything. I'm not one for doing everything online, although a lot of stuff is online, and I appreciate that's the way it's going. But yeah, it just gets a bit excessive sometimes, and I think with kids, they don't need all these different online learning things, learning apps. And then they'll do some learning apps, and then after a term, the school will get rid of them. And the other thing with these learning apps, some of the questions are so ridiculous and they don't even make sense. So no one's even checking what all these learning apps are and what information it's spewing out to kids. Because when you're reading it and the kids are doing it, I think there was an English app once, and it's like, it didn't even make any sense. And I think some of the science apps have been a bit iffy as well. And it's like, go back to pen and papers. And I get it. There's a lot of pressure on teachers, and they're trying to minimise their work and all of that. But yeah, it doesn't work in all cases. And then kids are just clubbing together and finding out how to bypass these apps, or there's an app that answers the questions in the app, and it's just like, yeah, world gone crazy. Bring back pen and paper and traditional sheets that they do for lessons and homework and stuff like that, because I'm sure it's much easier to track, and I'm sure it creates a lot less admin for schools as well. If the teachers just print off 30 sheets of paper with some maths questions on, it's got to be a lot less admin for the school as a whole. But anyway, that's my rant today on school admin. Yeah, it is a full-time job, and every time you log onto your email, there's another email from school and another email from school, and it's like, crikey. Anyway, I hope you're all having a good day and you're having a good week. This week seems to be going really fast so far. I've got some exciting things coming up. I've got to find cookies to cook this week, because back to school, back to cookies. In fact, I had a message about that this morning, 8:30. The deadline to pay for my cookies is tomorrow, even though I'm not paying for cookies because I'm sending my own. But yeah, back to cookies. So we'll see what exciting cookie recipes we can find for this week. And I'm sure I will film that for you. In fact, I think Max actually said he wanted the gingerbread cookies. Yeah, I think he wanted gingerbread cookies again this week. But we might not go with pumpkin ones. We might see what other cutters we've got and see what else we can find. But I'm sure I will film a bit of that for you and let you know which cookies we actually made. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic week, whatever you're up to. And I will look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.